If you're watching this video, you've probably already downloaded the worksheets, but in case you haven't, they're available at my website. You can download them, print them out, and create a portfolio any size you want. The ultimate goal with these worksheets is to have the left sides fully filled out, giving you a roadmap for cutting all of the material needed to create this portfolio. Go to handmadebooksandjournals.com, then choose the main menu item, Make Custom Books, then Boxes and Slipcases. From there, choose Hardbound, Portfolio Case, and then Portfolio Case Worksheets, which will take you to the main page for those items. Here you can scroll down and see the images of the worksheets. These each have separate download pages, so click on one of the images, which will take you to another page. Click on the image again, and it will take you to the download page, and you can download it from there. How you do that final step will depend on your operating system and the browser you're using. I'm on a Mac using Safari, so I control-click on the image and get a pick menu allowing me to save image to the desktop. Your final step may vary. You want to start with the Portfolio Case Bookboard worksheet. Fill in the length and width of the item that you are making the portfolio for, as well as the thickness. Once you have these three measurements filled in, go through the sheet and fill out all of the A's, B's, and C's that you see on the worksheet. All of your measurements will be based off of these three figures. Then just start working your way through the rest of that worksheet, starting with the next letter, D. Work out the math, in this case adding 1/8 to 5 to solve that measurement. Simple enough. Continue in this fashion until you've filled in all the blanks on this worksheet. The field marked X isn't based on any other measurement, and you can make up a number for this. It will be the length of the top and bottom flaps that fold over the object in the portfolio. I've chosen 2.5 inches for this 5 by 7 inch portfolio because it seems like a good proportion. Don't feel daunted by the occasional fractional math that you'll need to do with these sheets. Here's a quick reminder about how to add fractions that aren't the same in case you don't remember. The key to adding fractions together is that the denominators need to be the same, and if they aren't, you need to make them the same. So, in this case, where you need to add 1/2 and 1/8, you need to turn the 1/2 into eighths. How do you turn 2 into 8? You multiply it by 4. And you need to multiply the top and bottom by that number. So if you multiply 1/2 by 4/4, you get 4/8, and now your denominators are the same. You're just multiplying it by the equivalent of 1, so you aren't changing the value at all, just the form that it's in. Now just add the top parts, the numerators, and you have your new fraction, 5/8. Finish out this worksheet and then start on the paper and bookcloth worksheet. There are basically just three main measurements that you're working toward here. The paper necessary to cover both flaps, so you'll cut 2 of these. The paper necessary to cover the main body of the portfolio, and the paper liner for the inside of the portfolio. This will be trimmed further once you get to that step. You'll use the results from the first worksheet for this one. So for instance, the value of lowercase a comes from the first worksheet. In this case, that value was 7. Just do the simple math, adding 1.5 to fill in the value for the uppercase A, which is the length of the main body of the portfolio. To get the width, you need to add a lot of values from the first worksheet together, plus add 2 to this figure for the extra margins that you'll need. Write these down on a scrap piece of paper. You'll probably need to do some more fractional math to add all of these together. Remember, just figure out the common denominator and do the math accordingly. So I've converted all of the fractions so that I can add them together. First I add my whole numbers, then I add my fractions. You'll probably end up with a fraction that you need to reduce. Just subtract out the whole number, in this case 8/8, and add this to your whole numbers, and whatever is left over is the fraction, 7/8. So in this instance, my final measurement is 15 7/8. Finish out the rest of this worksheet in the same manner, and you'll have all the measurements for the materials you need to cut for your portfolio case.